You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
It is a little correction here. It is Thursday, March 26th. I did say in the last segment it was Wednesday, March 25th, and that is because we actually recorded that segment with Steve Johnson from Lutheran Valley Retreat to run yesterday. But it's just the season for all kinds of mistakes on my part. So thanks for your graciousness and being patient with us while we work out how to do things in a whole new way, like everybody else is doing as well. We're continuing our camp conversations today. Today we head to Michigan.
Yay! I'm so excited.
We head to Camp Concordia in Gowen, Michigan, and Dr. Craig Oldenburg is our guest this morning. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning.
Thanks for being our guest and spending some time with us. You are in a beautiful Camp Concordia, I'm sure enjoying all of God's beautiful creation. How's the weather there at Camp Concordia this week?
We're actually right now we're waking up to sunshine and a warm day, but just 2 days ago we had snow.
Of course, because it's Michigan.
Craig, what makes Camp Concordia a destination for children, for youth, or families during the summer?
You know, that's changed a lot over the last 6 years because it wasn't a destination, and now it is, and it's quite honestly, it's the consistency and the programming that we've been able to bring to them and listening to them, and plus it's in central Michigan. It's very close to Grand Rapids. It's not too far from the Bay, the Saginaw, that kind of area, and the whole Detroit area. It's a little bit far for some of those folks, but it's still, we have them coming from as far. We have kids coming actually from Wisconsin, from Illinois, even one from Missouri.
Yes. What are some of the things that make Camp Concordia special for the people that get to go there?
I would say the specialness that I hear is coming in the area of faith first and foremost. When I get letters back now, we didn't used to get letters. I've been here for about 6 years, and the letters we get now have to do with, wow, this counselor really affected my child's faith. That's probably a big one. There is a claim, and I'm not going to be the guy that can prove this, that we're on a great chain of lakes that has great fishing, and but I can't confirm that from my own fishing abilities. And so as far as location goes, or we're probably like every other camp in Michigan. We have a great lake, we have a great property, but it's the staff and the programming that's going on, and the interactions and the commitment to being a community here.
Absolutely. Michigan is a beautiful place. I'm a little biased. It's probably one of my favorite places. But you mentioned getting letters from campers. Can you share a story or two of a camper or a staff member or a family that has benefited from being at Camp Concordia?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked that one. So I was thinking this through, and I'll pick out. There's so many, and I'll pick out the one from last summer in particular. I'm going to talk about Tommy, and he was one of our counselors, and he was one of those guy counselors who were like, "Hey, where's Tommy? Hey, where's Tommy?" And he was all heart. He was active. He was engaged, and along comes a camper, Marcus, and he gets checked in, and he does his week of camp, and that whole week too, we're kind of like, hey, where's Tommy? Oh, they're off doing this or they're off doing that, and they engaged in the regular program. It was the games, it was the engagement in their relationship, and the Bible study and talking about Christ, and that's all I know. And then Marcus went home. But then we get the letter, and the letter simply said, I said, please, this is from Dad, okay? Please extend specific thanks to Tommy. Tommy was, he had affected this son's life. This would have been a middle schooler, like a sixth grader. And It's one of those stories again where a camper goes home, and these are the most often stories, and they want to talk about their faith. They want to do something about their faith, and so those are my favorite. We get other letters that say, "Hey, my child had a great time at camp." I like those, but my favorite are they want to talk about their faith.
That's just so important for children to be able to hear the Word of God and then to be comfortable in speaking the Word of God, especially in their own homes as they're given the Word of God at camp and then go home, where maybe it's spoken on a regular basis, but maybe this is something new in their homes, and to hear parents responding and saying, "Thank you for helping my child hear the Word," and to be bold and speaking about his faith at home. What makes up a day at camp? Where do they get to hear about the Word of God and God's creation as well?
Okay. I had to write this down. Here's how a day at camp goes: eat, study, play, eat, play, eat, play, eat, play, have campfire. There you go.
I'm in.
But in reality, going back to Tommy, because it's all about the counseling staff. And it's like that playtime is not playtime. Like, one of our questions from the state of Michigan is, what is your purpose? And it's easy to say, our purpose is recreation. Well, we do that, but that's not our purpose. And so it's we get up in the morning and it's, hey, let's go take showers or whatever. You go eat, you go clean your cabin, and then you gather for Bible study. And even though that's Bible study, that's not necessarily the heart of the Bible study. The Bible study is going to really take place during that archery time, when they're trying to aim and meet the mark, and they either miss it or get it, and they get to talk about forgiveness, and they get to talk about Peter walking on the water and how he had to aim, he had a target, and he missed it, and how Jesus reaches down. So it's always back to those counselors and how those counselors are going to walk with them through the day. And so it's the meals. Are we all busy? I hate to pick on Martha again, but is it we're all busy prepping the food for our cookout, or is it that we're really gathered in a relationship about cooking that food for the cookout and walking with kids, and sometimes a camper gets their first experience cooking out, and they get a little bit of confidence. And it gives them confidence to go up to their counselor and say, hey, what about this part of my life too? And all of a sudden, the Bible study becomes a reality. That's what a day in camp really brings. The campfires are memorable. They're very important, but they're not the only thing. So it goes on all day long. Our purpose is so big, whether it's out on the water or hiking through the woods picking wild raspberries.
Yeah. Do you have any feedback from participants who have been campers? How Camp Concordia, how their time there has made a difference as they have grown up and matured and moved on into their adult lives? Do you have stories from those people?
We have them. We have like stories and then a break and then stories. We have stories from campers who were here in the 60s and 70s, and then stuff happened in the 80s and 90s. We don't really know what. We don't hear from them. Okay, and then we start hearing from kids in the late 2000s and now the 2010s, and like I said before, a lot of it, because we can't keep touch. Like, some people think, in this electronic world we can have touch through Facebook and Instagram and all that, but we have a legal obligation as to what age we can really talk with. So we mostly hear from the parents, and it's those parents who are writing those letters back and just saying the things I already kind of shared. We have a family camp, just one. We have a great camp in Michigan called Camp Concordia. They do awesome family camps. We do just one smaller family camp for families that want to be in a rougher situation, and that's pretty much full every year now. And those families come because they really want to engage with other families, and they want to sit around the campfire together and sing songs and play in the water. And they want to actually go, old and young want to go play 9 square in the air together and do archery together. So they're here for a purpose. But it's families come here because it opens up the opportunity for them to talk about their faith. So when I hear back from the Smythes, for instance, I hear about what a special time, closeness they had as a family. I hear about what and their daughters are older. I hear about it's just that it's a time where they get to they don't have all the other focuses of the world going on when they're here. They're just focusing on family and faith and those conversations and expressing faith and exploring who they are as a family apart from all the busyness.
So for the families that want to be out in the Word, especially having their kiddos out in the Word and out in God's creation, digging into the Word this summer, how can they find out more about Camp Concordia and how to get to Camp Concordia as well?
Go to Grand Rapids and head north. There you go, 30 minutes, okay? Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we'll pick you up at the airport if we have to. We have some campers that might be flying in this summer, actually. And so, but other than that, it's campconcordia.org. And when you go to that first page, we're a seasonal camp. So our entire camp page is you go on there and right away you see all the camp offerings and you go right to it and right to the registrations. And there's some explanations that are with each of those camp sessions.
Very good. So campconcordia.org is the website. And how are things lining up for the summer? I know certainly there are a lot of questions about what's going to happen this summer. Do you still need staff for the summer?
Yeah. Oh, boy, I'm glad you asked that one. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, probably each year. There's a crisis in the United States as far as male staff go. Not only at Christian camps, but across the whole United States in all camps. And, I have theories about that, sometimes people going into engineering or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We have about 30 seconds.
To be a business person, they think they shouldn't engage kids but we need male staff. That's our need. Male staff to engage little campers in their faith, boy campers. 5 of them. I need 5. You got 5?
Well, hopefully today, as you're listening, check out campconcordia.org. Get in touch with Dr. Craig Oldenburg there at Camp Concordia. That might be a great way to serve this summer. Craig, thanks so much for being our guest on the Coffee Hour, and God's blessings as you make preparations for summer camp.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Thanks for joining us for the Coffee Hour today.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.